Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of What's on Your Shelf. And as always, this season, we're in a very celebratory mood. And this week, we are at the Kenya National Library Service, where we are celebrating Mashujaa wa Kusoma. There is an ongoing reading competition with a partnership between Kenya National Library Service and Worldreader, who, through their app, they started this initiative for encouraging young people to read.
The one and only, the legendary Racheal Nafula.
What were you doing when you were 3 years? Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome my guest to the show, Mama Xavion.
Yes.
Kindly introduce yourself, introduce to us your the champion here, and tell us how you guys have found yourself here.
Okay, I'm Lono Sete, and my son's name is Xavion Fletcher. He's 3 years old. He'll be turning 4 in November 22nd this year. And the Worldreaders or BookSmart came to our school, Little Rock, which is in Ayan in Kibera. They came to our school, introduced themselves, and they introduced what they do. So at first I thought it was a joke. I was like, you cannot read books online and someone will reward you. But today, I'm very much surprised because it's real. Yeah.
Okay, I want to speak to you on two fronts. One, as a part of the Little Rock ecosystem, which has won the community award, but also as a parent who's been encouraging her 3-year-old to read. Tell us about what reading does to these children. And you also have a background as a teacher. What does reading do to kids?
Okay, reading, I know as parents, especially African parents, we don't view reading as our culture. Tunaona ni kama mtoto anakusumbua, kikuja kwa kuambia I want you to read, you're like, we toka hapa unanisumbua. But reading for this child, it really helps them to develop their strength in their listening and speaking. They will speak that English that you have taught them, that they have learned. Hata kama niyo neno moja, even if you are reading a long sentence, they hear only the word come. They will always remember that come. We unaona ni kama mtoto ha benefit, but in real sense, this child is really benefiting. You are the one mwenye uko negative, but for the child, inamguza, those words that you are reading to him as he listens or as he repeats, they're really encouraging him to speak with other children. Yes.
Tell us about that reading experience. How was it? Where did you guys start?
Well, it was not easy. Because when we started, I don't remember when, but actually when we started reading with him, I would read one book a day and not even finish it because it was really challenging to my side because I have to read for him because he cannot read on his own. I have to read for him and also he has to repeat after me. So as a mother, a working mother, I would find it very difficult. Naona ni kama ananiwestia time because a 3-year-old lazima namsomea kirudia na hiyo inapeleka a lot of time. So kama hauna patience, you will not do it. Juu utakuwa unasoma, saa zingine hata unamsomea na anakuambia unanisumbua. Yes, he used to tell me, mami unanisumbua. And I will tell him, no, you have to read. Ananiambia, mimi nimechoka. You see? So ningepata ile siku yenye ako in a mood. But with time, mpaka yeye mwenyewe ndio alikuwa anakuja ananiambia, mami leo hujaniwekea BookSmart. kwani leo sisomi? Si ubai bundles. You know, he knows these things because I speak to him. I tell him sina bundles.
Yeah.
So hata kama ajui bundles ni nini angekuja niambie, mami si ubai bundles. So nieke BookSmart nisome.
Yeah.
Like that. So with time, so I wasn't again forcing him. Ilikuwa ishaingia, kuna kitu mami ananiekea kwa simu inaitwa BookSmart. So he would come and tell me, si tusome leo BookSmart. So hata mimi ningejituma, I will tell myself, wacha ninunue bundles nimwekee juu amejua. So now it's with time ikakuwa easier for us to read.
What has been your favorite part of this whole experience?
My favorite part is that I've also read as a parent. Lazima we mzazi usome, ndio pia yeye asome. So I have been like a role model to my son. I will read as he reads. So in the process unapata, hata mi hizo vitabu nazijua kuliko venye yeye anazijua because I'm also reading. Yes.
But finally, there is a parent who is watching you now, who's wondering, how does a 3-year-old read 180 books? What has worked for you?
What has worked for me is that the moment I introduced BookSmart to my son, I made sure ye mwenyewe amejua BookSmart ni nini. So when he asked me, hiyo ni nini unaniambia? I told him, ini malipo watoto wanasoma na bundles like that. So my son would come and tell me, mami leo tusomi na bundles. You see, if a child tells you that as a parent, hata kama umesahau, you know you will remember and say, kama mtoto wangu amejua anafaa asome. Si wacha tu leo ninunue bundles nimsomeshe hata kama ni kitabu moja. Yes, and that's how we have been doing.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. You now as a parent and also as a teacher, you're a trained teacher.
Yes.
Please speak to a parent who is watching you today. Tell them something. Why this is, from your personal experience, why this has been a fulfilling experience. Looking at it from both academics perspective and also a social perspective.
Okay, as a parent, I can encourage you to just give your son that storybook or your daughter. Najua ataangalia pictures. They might not be able to read right now. But even looking at those pictures and identifying that picture and saying, this is a lion, you know that is reading. And this will take your son far because akisikia pictures zimewekwa mahali, atakuwa na confidence ya kusema, I know this is a tiger. You see, there's that confidence for a child when he or she reads.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, and our guest has already disappeared. Typical of a 3-year-old, but thank you so much. He is the silver medalist for those 3-year-olds, and he has read 180 books. Thank you so much. Remind us of his name again.
Xavier Fletcher.
Xavier. And you searched for a name.
Gen Z.
Thank you so much, Mama Xavier, and see you again sometime soon. And we hope that Xavier will continue that reading culture. Yes. And also you and the rest of the people around them, we will keep encouraging them to continue that reading. Okay. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the Mashujaa for next year.
Yes.
All right.
We'll definitely be there.
Asante. I'm seated right here with a champion, and you won't believe it. This girl, 11 years, is the gold medalist and has won a trophy, has read 1,178 books. In how many months?
3 months.
In 3 months. Why am I not clapping? Celebrate our hero. And then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you Racheal Nafula. Hi, Racheal.
I'm fine.
Habari ya leo?
Nzuri.
First of all, tell us, how did you manage to read over 1,000 books?
I managed to read over 1,000 books because my mother and my sister encouraged me. They told me to don't lose hope.
All right. But we want to get to know you. Tell us about you. What is your full name? Which school do you go to? And how did you find yourself here?
My name's Racheal Nafula. I'm 11 years old. I'm in grade 5 and I study at Kibera School for girls. I found myself here because my mother works at Little Rock. So the people of BookSmart came to their school. My mother introduced me there. I started reading the books as a member of Little Rock.
So but just tell us about that whole experience. Can you remember the first book, when you first got that application, can you remember the first book that you read?
Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Tell us about that one.
Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Goldilocks. Her mother was at home. He went out to the woods. She found a small house. She went inside. She found 3 bowls of plates. She tasted the big one. This porridge is too hot, she said. She went to the medium. She said, this porridge is too cold. But when she went to the small one, she said, this porridge is just right for me. When passing by, he found 3 chairs. He went to the first one. This chair is rough. He went to the medium. This chair is too soft for me. She went to the small one and said, this chair is that comfortably for me. Goldilocks broke the chair. She was exhausted and wanted to have a nap. She went to the bedroom and found 3 beds. She went to the big one. She said, this bed is too hard. She said. She went to the medium. She said, this bed is too soft. She went to the small one. This one is just right for me. When the bears came back home, they found that everything in their house was tasted. They went to the boss. The father said, who has tasted on my porridge? She said. The mother said, who has tasted on my porridge? They said. The baby said, who has tasted on my porridge and finished it all? The baby said. They passed by, went to the chairs. The father said, who has sat on my chair? The mother said, who has sat on my chair? The baby started crying that Goldilocks had broke her chair. She cried. They went to the bedroom. Who has slept on my bed? The father said. Who has slept on my bed? The mother said. The baby was there. Who is having a nap on my bed? He said. The father bear and the mother bear quickly rushed to where Goldilocks was. When Goldilocks was awake, she saw the 3 bears. She rushed away from the woods, and when her mother was looking for her, she promised her mother she will never do that again.
Ah, wow. But now you as Rachel, what do you say we can learn from that story?
We should ask for permission before going anywhere.
Of the 1,178 books you have read, do you have any favorite? What was your favorite?
Goldilocks and the 3 bears.
Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Why would you say it was your favorite?
It was my favorite because the story is interesting. It teaches us about good manners.
Yeah. Was there one that maybe you found very difficult when you're maybe going through the books?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I do speak chocolates.
Yeah. What was the challenge?
It was all about talking about chocolate, and I didn't understand the book very well.
You don't know about chocolate?
I know just little.
Ah, okay. Mom, congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us about this. It's one thing to have a desire for your children to read. It's another thing to have an opportunity to encourage your children to read. Tell us about what attracted you to this challenge.
I can say to attract this my daughter. He's so clever. At school, he participates so well in class. He has not let me down. I'm confident with her.
Ni nini iliku attract kama mzazi kusema nataka mtoto wangu participate kwa hii challenge?
Kama mzazi, naweza ongea, sikuwa nimejua about BookSmart. Mi nafanya litrock as a cooker. Sasa wakati nye BookSmart walikuja huko, mimi naye nikaona mtoto wangu anaweza fit kwa hiyo nini, Mimi nikachukua hiyo chance. Akaanza kusoma, lakini imenipea motisha sana. Nimeona kwa shule ana participate vizuri, kwa class anafanya vizuri. Writing composition is done well. Alafu na ingine naona huko shuleni ana participate vizuri sana kwa class juu yeye ndiye anakuanga top 5 mwanzo.
So Racheal, you are a natural winner. Winning is what you're used to.
Yes.
But how does it feel to get the top prize of all these people who are competing and reading? Did you know that you're going to be the champ?
No.
What does it feel like? Just take us through the moments when you had your name being mentioned.
I felt that I am loved by people. I felt that I have that confidence to achieve my strategic goals.
Yeah. Mom says you are a good composition writer. What makes you a good composition writer? How do you prepare?
I prepare. I like reading storybooks. I read storybooks and gain more knowledge from them, so that when the composition or insha come, I can get the details to write.
Mom, ni umuhimu gani kama mzazi ambao wewe umepata kwa encourage mtoto kusoma?
Mimi umuhimu nimempata through BookSmart kwa mtoto wangu. Nimemwona imemsaidia sana kwa masomo. Imemsaidia sana kusoma, tena ameimprove kuongea English, tena kuandika.
Nimesikia Racheal akisema kuna madadazi wengine. Niambie pengine kuhusu watoto wako wengine na...
He has one sister.
Akona
sister moja.
Pale nyumbani wewe kama mzazi, matarajio yako ni gani ukiangalia hao watoto?
Mimi matarajio yangu yenye ningesema nataka Racheal through school is a leader, as head girl wa school. Is a leader on scout. Yeye ni scout leader. Sasa nilikuwa nampa motisha aendelee tu hivyo, akuwe a leader. Ani isikome hapa, aendelee.
Lakini pengine kuna mzazi ambaye anakutazama na anashindwa ni nini ambacho mama Racheal amefanya kufanya ile uhusiano kati yake na Racheal na hii mambo ya masomo iendelee kunawiri.
Mimi kitu yenye nimefanya ni through God. Nimeweka Mungu mbele kwa kila jambo. Nimekuwa kila wakati nikini-encourage Racheal asome, kustudy. Akikuja kwa nyumba si kwa mchezo tu, akae akiangalia vitabu zake.
Pengine mtu akifikiria kuhusu Kibera, mtu singetarajia kuwa mtoto kutoka Kibera amesoma vitabu zaidi 1000. Wewe kama mzazi unajihisi vipi?
Mimi najihisi kwa furaha sana. Kibera unajua kupata tu internet si rahisi. Kupata tu rahisi.
Tuambie sasa, especially sasa wewe kama wewe ndio simu yako amekuwa kitumia, kwa sababu hii Worldreader ni app. Na ni challenges gani ambazo unaweza sema mmekumbana nazo katika ile kuensure tu Racheal na dada yake wamepata kusoma?
Mimi nimekuwa challenge sana. Kama una data na data yenyewe, kama for example data unapeana for 1 hour, hiyo ni 20 shillings. Sasa almost 100 per day nilikuwa natumia. Saa nyingine mpaka naokoa jahazi ndio mtoto apate kusoma.
Congratulations, Racheal.
Thank you.
And thank you for making your mom proud. You're doing so many things. You're making us look bad. You're only 11. What other things are you doing in school? What are the positions you have in school?
In the top 3,
Uh-huh.
I get exceeding expectation because nowadays there's no number 1, number 2, and number 3.
That is academically.
Yes.
You're also in scouting. Tell us about that.
I'm a scout commander.
You're a scout commander. Hey, you look like you're not that tall. How do you command? What are the key things that you would say scouting has also helped you with as Rachel?
Scouting has helped me improve on my drills, helped me improve in my, maybe I can say it has helped me be courageous.
You're also the head girl.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
When we voted for the head girl, I was not sure if they will vote for me, but I placed God first.
So you campaigned
Yes.
and you were elected.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So now that you have experience, what do you think about the politics in Kenya? Now that you also were elected.
They should put their hands together. They agree on things they should do.
Do you plan to one day run for a political office?
No.
You don't? Why would you not? We need leaders like you. I've heard the moderator say, readers are leaders. What's your thought about that?
I am a good reader, but I want to achieve my strategic goals as a lawyer.
As a lawyer,
Yes.
and you will become a lawyer.
Thank you.
Keep pursuing that dream. And now what next? What now that you are the champion, what next? What are your other ambitions?
I can leave chance for other children. I like to tell them that they just read these books because they will help them.
Rich, you're going to be an inspiration to very many children. And they're here. They're looking at you right now. What would be your message to other children who are watching you right now?
I would like to tell them that they be serious with their studies, not just staying on TV and playing, but just focus on your studies.
All right. Thank you so much. Asanteni sana mabi kwa kazi nzuri. Nawatakia kila laheri. All the very best, Rachel, in your journey ahead. I look forward. I might be very old when you are a lawyer, but I'll look for you to represent me if at all I have a case. But congratulations. And your award, just tell us something about this. Tell the people, your children like you who are watching you today about this award, how you've gotten that award, and what you hope for next.
I've gotten that award.
Just hold it. Just feel free to hold it.
I've gotten this award because my mother and my sister have always telling me to never give up. I just continue with my courage and it may help me somewhere else.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Racheal Nafula, 11-year-old who's read 1,178 books in 3 months. What's on your shelf? What are you reading? Right here with me is a whole family of champions. These are the Owinos. So allow me to start with you, ma'am. Introduce yourself, and then we will get to hear who else is here and what they have achieved. Karibu.
Okay, my name is Sarah Midika Owino. I'm a mother of the winning champion, and I have 3 who have won the medals: bronze, silver, and silver again. Yeah. And I feel great to have my children here.
Thank you. So I want to hear each and every one. Tell us your name, the school you go to, and what medal you've won today. I will start with you, sir.
My name is Griffin Obino. I school from Little Rock, and I have a silver medal.
You have a silver medal. In what category?
Huh?
In what category? What age?
I am 7 years old.
You're 7 years old. Congratulations. And who do we have here? And which medal did you get today? You don't have a medal. Congratulations for coming to see your brothers and sister get a medal, right? And you?
My name is Delsa Owino. I got the bronze medal from the category of 9 to 12. Yes.
Ah, nice. And you told me earlier you also got something else.
Yeah, and I also got a Kindle.
A Kindle.
Yes.
Right. Which school do you go to?
I school in Little Rock.
Oh, your school in Little Rock.
Yes.
And finally?
My name is Quintino Hilo. I study at Milimani Primary School and I finished at second place, silver medal.
For which category?
9 to 12.
So I want to hear from each and every one of you, which was your favorite book on, how many books did you read? And of them all, which was your favorite book? Starting with you, sir.
For now I have 1,087 books.
1,087 books.
Yes.
And
I have lots of favorite books like Malala, Memories of Schindler, Barack Obama, and Muhammad Ali.
If somebody tells you to pick one of these favorites, which one would you pick?
I will pick Malala.
Malala. Tell us about Malala.
Malala was a girl who lived in Afghanistan. She liked to play a guitar, sort of like instrument, but when the Taliban came in, they didn't allow anyone to play music. If you played music, they will kill you. Yeah, but Malala wrote a letter to BBC, and then she was even shot on the head, but she survived.
What would you say that book, maybe I would say taught you, or maybe you learned by?
I learned to be courageous. Yeah.
And then the lady in the house?
The book that I liked the most is Andy and the Honeybee.
Andy and the Honeybee. How many
Yes.
books did you read by the way?
I read 1,080 books.
1,080. What time do you read?
I read from 3 to 5.
3 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Yes.
How many times in a week do you read?
I read every day.
Every day.
Yes.
What does it feel like to read more than 1,000 books?
It feels good. Yes.
So you said Andy and the little
Andy
bee
and the Honey Bear.
and the Honeybee
Yeah.
is your favorite book. Tell us about that one.
It's about Andy loves nature, and he one day visited her aunt. Then he found out that her aunt has a farm of honeybee. Then her aunt tells him the safety measures to have before you handle the honey, and her mom also tells him about importance of flowers. And also when Andy and her aunt go to the honey farm, they let the bees go and collect nectar from the flowers, and Andy and the aunt removes the honey from the place where the bees are live in. And Andy and the aunt keeps the bees inside containers, and they sell them.
Well, that is really awesome. So it means you like honey.
Yes.
You love honey. But you like the bees.
No.
Why? Why would you like the honey and you don't like the person who makes
Because they sting you.
But why do they sting?
Because people disturb them. or because you have a bright thing, or because you've wore a bright cloth.
Or if you wear a bright cloth, the bees.
Yeah, because the flowers are bright.
So it will think that you are a flower.
Yeah.
Ah. But what actually makes bees? Did you ever take time to maybe figure out what makes that honey? What is it that the bee uses to make the honey?
The nectar.
Where does it get the nectar?
From the flowers.
Okay. But are all the flowers bright?
Huh?
Are all the flowers bright?
No. Yeah.
Okay. But I'll come back. That honey and bee one, I want to hear more.
My name is Griffin Owino. I'm 7 years old, and my book that I like reading is Andy and the Cornflakes.
Now there is honey and the cornflakes, which is different from the honey that had the bee, the honey. Ah, okay. Tell us about that one.
Andy was learning about the farm. Andy go home, and then he told his father he want to plant. His father took the things for farming, and then he digged for Andy, and then Andy started planting.
Lakini sasa nyinyi nyote ni mashujaa wa kusoma. Sijasikia mtu akiongea kuhusu kitabu cha Kiswahili ambacho alisoma. Hakuna kitabu cha Kiswahili? Aha. Kitabu kipi cha Kiswahili ambacho wewe ulisoma? Ama Kiswahili si mdomo chetu? Ma'am, tuambie kuhusu, uko na mashujaa kadhaa nyumbani. What has worked for you? Tell us about, first of all, just tell us about this day. What is your feeling and how does it feel to be here today?
I feel humble that I got this privilege to attend Mashujaa celebration. And I feel good as a mother having the time to read with my children together at home. And I can feel that reading with the children, first of all, it has brought that confidence in my children. Then it has created this bond of love as a family. We are concerned about each other. And I came to make a timetable. It taught me to make a timetable because I have 4 children. And if I can't make a timetable, I'll not reach every child. So I made a timetable for Quentin to be reading mostly during the weekends. Because he's a reader, he likes reading. He can read so many books even a day. So I gave him a chance during the weekend, and in the morning, he wakes up very early, prepare to dress to go to school. But before he goes to school, he reads from 5:30 to 6:30. Then he goes. Then I made a timetable for Griffin to be reading in the morning when we go to school, because I'm a teacher, and in school there's Wi-Fi. Before their teacher comes for morning work, he would have read like 2 to 3 books in the morning. Then in the afternoon, I give it to Delsa. Then when we go home, I can read with Fewa. And I saw it working because I could avoid the most of the time they're fighting over the phone. So I could make the timetable so that I can reach all of them. Then I can see their thinking capacity, their mind, how they think, how they perceive things is different from the way they used just to stay. They know every day they need to have a book to read, and it is intrinsic. It is coming from the heart, not that I'm forcing them with a cane. You must read. You must read. It is from their heart. They feel like I need to read. Yeah.
What is the importance of you as a parent reading together with the children?
First of all, I said as a parent, a parent is a teacher, the first teacher of a learner. So when I read with them, I come to understand the weaknesses of my children and the strengths of my children. I can understand the slow learner and the quick learner. And with the slow learner, I can give more time and be there to help the slow learner, like spelling mistakes, like reading pronunciation of some words, or sometimes the meaning of the word. And through the guidance, I can have to understand that this Quentin maybe didn't understand the concept from the book or didn't understand the story from the questions I'm asking. Like, after reading this book, which lesson did you learn from that book? Okay, what is about this Balala? What happened to him? And how would you be when you are put in that situation of Balala? How could you do it? So as I trigger them with the questions, I come to understand their innermost heart. How do they feel, their emotions, their temper, and I can control it as a parent.
Yeah. But now also, when you look at how much they've grown, they're in different levels. What is your hope for the kids, and especially now that they've got in that whole reading culture?
Like for Quentin, I feel that his performance has really changed, that he's a good writer in school. He can write his spelling mistakes. He can do it nicely. And I can see him exceeding expectation, mostly in languages. He has exceeded expectation. And also I can see his discipline has really changed. He's more responsible, because before after starting reading, after the launch of reading, he was the one who opened the profile for every child, the siblings. He was the one who opened, he was the one who created the accounts. He did everything after knowing my email. He's the one who did it. So when we were posting the books and the points, people were asking, how do we do it? And I could just call him and tell him, you are the one to teach others how to do it. And he got a chance of teaching other parents how to do it.
Yeah. But also outside your house, you guys are also part of a certain community. Tell us about that community.
Okay, we live in Kibera, a place called Racheal. Yeah, and we could reach so many family. Like they were asking, what is BookSmart? Then we were to explain to them what is BookSmart and what does it do to learners, and what is your work as a parent to be there with your learner. Then after the guidelines, I could follow up to say, are you reading? Sensitizing them on the importance of reading with your own child. Now I could see most of the parents were saying that the time of reading with the child, I'm busy looking for money. I want to do my own things. My child, when I take him or her to school, that is the work of a teacher, not I as a parent. So sensitizing them on the importance of listening to their children, they came to understand, kumbe, I need to listen to my child when he or she is reading, so that to know how he's articulating the words. I need to listen to my child when he or she is speaking. And then the written work, how are they writing? For a child who is reading, he's able to write the words in a line and shaping the letters well. But for a learner who is not reading, he can write his handwriting the way he feels, because he doesn't see the words. But when you're reading, looking at the words, you are able to shape the letters and your handwriting becomes perfect.
You're a teacher yourself.
Yes.
Somebody would say it is easier for you because you're a teacher. But there is a parent perhaps who's looking at it and saying, I wish, what would you encourage them to? What is it that you can tell them that can help them look at that whole experience differently?
What I could encourage parents to do that is that the parents should own reading as a joyous activity. It is joyful to read with your child. It is joyful for you to read to stories. As a parent, maybe you are emotional. Some stories will make you laugh, will make you get happy, will make you not get stressed. You're listening to the children's stories. And as you start reading as early as 3 years, your learner is going to be perfect in reading, in speaking, in spoken language, in written language. He's going to be so good in that he's learning from the parent. So the parent, when you are involved in your learner's reading, it gives your child that confidence that if at all mommy is doing it, I can do it. Mommy is there for me. So this thing I'm doing, it is not tiresome. It should be enjoyable. As my mommy is enjoying, even me, I need to enjoy it. So as a parent, you are an example. You are a role model to your child. So they are learning from you. They are copying from you.
There is a parent who is watching you today who is saying, heri wewe. How does this parent get to this? We've never read, pengine hajawahi soma na mtoto wake. Maybe they don't even have that reading culture. Where do you start? What are the fruits that you can see that can help you encourage another parent to tell them to just begin? Yeah.
Well, just to begin, I can say that what I can see from my children, that I can see them performing well. I can see them change their attitude towards other people, towards the environment, towards the historic, the history of the nation or the history of other people, the culture of so many people. So reading is something which is wide. It is not about the magic stories, but it is wide, talking about so many things. So what I could tell the parent who has not been on in BookSmart, to first of all download the app BookSmart, create an account. After creating an account, create the profile picture, then start reading.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, these are the winners who've won silver medals and a bronze in different categories in the just concluded Mashujaa Kusoma 2024. What an encouraging story of siblings and parents who've been able to find a rhythm in reading. We will be talking shortly to the organizers of this, the Kenya National Library Service and the Worldreader, who together have put together a BookSmart app that has been the source of all these books that these kids have been reading. But what have you had? What is it that has tickled you or sparked some interest in following up what this initiative has been seeking to find? And this happens every year. This is its second year. Next year also, this will be happening. So check the Kenya National Library Service website, and I'm sure you will be able to know a thing or two. But coming shortly, we'll be sitting with the directors from the two organizations that have put this together, who will be telling us more about Mashujaa Kusoma. So see you on the other side.
I'm happy that you're all here. BookSmart is family-centered. It's about parents helping their children read. We know that there should be safety around digital devices, so parents should always be involved. And I'd like to say a big, big thank you. You know, as the child reads, the community that raises that reader actually gets points. The family that raises that reader also becomes a reading champion.
And right here with me, now I'm seated with the two teams that have put this together. And this has been put together by the Worldreader in partnership with the Kenya National Library Service. And with me, I have two amazing ladies who will help us understand this concept further. But just to start us off, just kindly introduce yourselves, tell us what you do and your role in your respective organizations. Starting with you, ma'am.
Okay, my name is Olivia Kimani. I'm the Director of Partnerships and Services at Worldreader. And my role really involves getting the whole community, different people from public or private sector, involved in raising readers. I know the big word there is raising readers, but it is something that everybody in the community can do. We get parents, caregivers to read with their children from a very early age.
Yeah.
My name is Katuma Bonaya Sam. I'm a librarian, working with Kenya National Library Service as an assistant director in charge of acquisition and virtual library. My role in my organization is I'm head of information access department that has put this together actually at the Maktaba.
All right. Just a quick reaction from both of you. How would you summarize this whole experience?
Well, this is amazing. I think when one sees families together, father, mother, children, coming together for such a wonderful cause, and that is reading together as well. I think I've not had I'd call it a wow moment because I've not had such an opportunity presenting itself. Often when you are on the streets or when you're driving, you see father going one way, mother going one way, the kids rushing to school. But this is an opportunity where the whole family is actually together enjoying the ability to congratulate each other for the efforts they've made towards getting children to read.
Yeah. Madam Kaltum, how would you react to what has happened today?
I was actually amazed. I didn't expect we will have such a crowd today because we started small. When we started last year, when we saw like 100 and something children reading books, so we were like, oh, this is doable. So we said, why don't we stagger it this year? And we did for 3 months, and this is such an amazing turnout.
Yeah.
And so many children reading with their parents at home, and parents actually creating time to read with children. Such an amazing thing.
What were you guys looking at in framing this challenge?
Okay, so when for this year, we also celebrated something else before Mashujaa wa Kusoma. We celebrated the National Reading Day on the 12th of July. So we looked at the time frame that we had last year. It wasn't enough. It was just for 1 month. So we said if we do 3 months, that will be fantastic. But if we do more than 3 months, so that will fatigue people on reading for that long. So we were actually putting people on their toes, and there were some people behind the scene celebrating every game. Every child reading one extra book is being celebrated in our communities of practice. So that is what has actually really helped this time.
Yeah. Madam Olivia, when you look at this partnership, what gaps were there, and how would you say this partnership has responded to the gaps that perhaps were being looked at?
First of all, I have to say a big thank you for Kenya National Library Services, what they do in the community, and also being able to help other libraries to be better organized so that they can invite communities there to read. So it's a big thank you. But one of the challenges that we faced, especially during COVID opened up all the gaps in this one, isn't it? When you think about it, no one could go into a brick and mortar building. Children did not have access to schools. Parents and children did not have access to libraries, physical libraries. And the other thing is that we also saw a big gap in the homes. We found that most homes do not have a single age-appropriate book that a child can read for fun. So Worldreader comes in with a digital platform called BookSmart. And this digital platform, it's not in competition with a library, a physical library, but it fills in the gap where as a child can come and read a book from a library and even borrow. When they get home, they've got a lot of free time. And we wanted to see what is it that a child can do during their free time while being supported by their families, by their caregivers. And so you'll find that also the way we work with Kenya National Library, the children come here, they borrow books or they read books in here, but then in the evenings or at their own free time, they also read with their parents. So there's no space there where a child is saying, I don't know what to do. I'm just sitting here doing nothing. So I think that is the beauty of our partnership. We fill the gaps.
Yeah. But Madam Kaltuma, when you look at our reading culture and looking at this initiative, how would you say this is going to help us build or create a good reading ecosystem?
Okay, thank you for that question. It's actually very timely. So, as we know it, parents actually don't have time to read with the children. So this BookSmart app has given us an opportunity to bring reading inside to the homes. So we have actually clubs that meets once a week. Every Thursday of every week, we have a club that meets. And where do we read it from? From the BookSmart app. So we've taken reading inside the homes. Apart from going inside the homes, we also have once a month that we have physical reading at the library. So the Worldreader app and our book club are actually merging because we get to read at the library and also inside our homes. The books are taken, and there is also bonding and gelling time between parents and children. As you know it, parents don't have time for children nowadays. So by bringing BookSmart up into the homes, we're bringing parents reading with the children, creating a bond between these children and the parents, and also encouraging the parents to make time for reading.
Yeah. But now when you look at this, I've seen the majority of the kids that were awarded today are of school-going age. How is it complementary to the normal academic calendar, and how do they work together?
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. You know, the interesting thing about Worldreader and also the BookSmart app is that we are trying to encourage reading routines. So when you think about it, the kids come from school, they have homework, and sometimes people think that that's the end of reading. But we found with the children here, because we are really going low from 0 to 12. I know our app has got 3 to 12 years old, but we know that when a child starts reading early, or a parent starts reading to their child early, even before they're born, they start gaining more vocabulary. Yeah, so when the child, by the age of 3-year-old, has already got enough vocabulary, has already understands reading comprehension skills, imagine what will happen when they go to PP1.
Yeah.
They go to school ready. They go to school confident. And so we are already setting up a foundation for them to reach their full potential in school.
Yeah. But now looking at it also, I'm trying to understand, is it complementary to the normal academic learning that the learners are saying in school? For example, our champion is an 11-year-old who has a regular school calendar also going. How would you say that these two integrate to build onto the learner's advancement of knowledge acquisition?
Yes, one of the things that I would like to maybe mention is that we're not telling the children to read for 2 hours or 3 hours. All they need is 15 minutes. So the books within the BookSmart app can quickly finish them 10 to 15 minutes. Enjoy what you've read, think about it, do a few exercises. Maximum, I would say, would be about even 20 minutes, and that's a long book. That's a book that maybe a child between the age of 9 to 12 will read. So it is complementary in that when a child remembers or is able to get more vocabulary in, get more words in, then by the time they get to school or they're doing that homework, it's no longer something strange to them. The words are not so foreign to them. The other thing we do is that this is, as Kaltuma has said, an opportunity for parents to bond with their kids. Kids learn very quickly when they're bonding with their parents. It's no longer a hit or miss situation. So we feel that the same time that the parent is looking at the homework, they can say, oh, let's do one fun thing together. Let's read together. So that becomes a fun opportunity or a fun time for the family, so the kids do not feel overwhelmed that, oh no, it's another, we have to read again. I think once it's fun, that's why we only have fun books that delight children in our BookSmart app, then it will no longer be seen as a contradictory to their learning.
And actually
It
that
actually enhances their learning.
It's just a lead to the question I wanted to ask you next, like what are the books that are available in the platform? Maybe if you can give us a quick overview.
Yeah, different shelves. So it's almost like walking to a library. You have books that help with sound, with three-letter words for the younger kids. We've got picture books. We've got social emotional learning books. We've got books about nature, everything that you'd want, yeah? Science, fun. So it's got different shelves, yeah? But all of them are culturally relevant. It's very important that we say that, because sometimes some stories that are relevant in Kenya or in Africa might not be relevant in Europe and vice versa. I grew up reading stories about Cinderella, Snow White. I was wondering, why am I not white? Imagine. And yet I've got a beautiful complexion that I should be proud of. But no one introduced me to a book that made me feel proud of my culture and my color. So that's what we make sure, that the books that a child reads in each geography is culturally relevant to that child.
But Madam Kaltuma, you sit from a place of the Kenya National Library Service has more of a national outlook. How would you say we are doing as a country in terms of reading? Are we reading?
I think I will actually thank you for that question. Oh, that one always comes up. So the thing is, I want to reiterate that Kenyans read, but it depends on why they're reading, the timing, and for what reason. Yes, we might not be reading for leisure, but just walk through our libraries during holidays. This library is full. So that means either children are doing their homework or are doing for leisure. So it's a complementary role that we play. So we open our spaces for leisure reading, also for academic purposes, and you will also have section that has been set aside for senior citizens who are not even working, but they will wish to come and read a book or two, go through newspapers or two. So we will play a complementary role, yes, but then I don't think Kenyans don't have a reading culture. I think they have, but it depends on why and when and what we are reading for. Yes.
But now when you look at, for example, we've gone through the app now, the physical library, to somebody who's never stepped into a Kenya National Library facility. What is inside the library?
Okay, it's very interesting question, by the way. So Kenya National Library Service is a repository of all information materials published within, outside, on Kenya, about Kenya. Yes, so we preserve our documentary heritage. That means all those information that has been written, or books that have been written by so old, or those who died long time ago, are preserved here. We have a rare collection. So the oldest book we have is of 1873.
1873?
Yes.
It's a physical book?
It is. We have a rare section. The other one is around 1903 and then 1913. So that one is about, that old one is about the colony, that is the East African Protectorate, the Kenya. And then we also have one on Thinking Black, 1903. And then there is something on 1913 is about the Southern Kikuyu. So we have all those here. Apart from the documentary heritage reserve, we also have an art section where youth can come and hold the art. their talent. They have a section where they can come just draw, practice, and we don't even charge them, it's for free. We also have a section, yes, that is dedicated to teaching youth on art in form of photography. That's also a section that started this 2 months ago. So we have that. And we also have children's section now where children come and explore.
Yeah.
Then the senior citizens can have their section also come and explore what they need.
Yeah.
And for every other person, there is something for everyone, if you may ask me,
Yeah.
at the Kenya National Library Service.
On this podcast, I've always said that the kids section is my favorite part. And
Yes.
there are things I tell them about the kids section that I
Yes.
think sometimes people feel like speaking my own things. Just tell people what is available in the children's section so that they can hear it for themselves today.
At the children's library, apart from the books, we have toys. We have a section for the toddlers where they can play. There's also a section for the parents. Lactating mothers also have a section where they bring their child as they revised for maybe their exams. They have a section where they can breastfeed their child and also sit with that child. And also we have the book club where we do Hadithi storytelling at Hadithi Theatre. So that is now where we do every other thing. We even do painting, drawing, reading, writing. We even dance, we sing. And that is where we normally collaborate with the Madam Olivia Art. So
Yeah.
there is so much going on at the Children's Library. In that club, we meet every third Saturday of the month physical. And the Children's Club meets every Thursday online, and we read from BookSmart app. And this year we've dedicated every Thursday we're reading a Kiswahili book. So those are some of the things that happen at the Children's Library.
Nice. Madam Olivia, somebody is listening to you. They've never heard about Worldreader. They've never heard about this app. They want to join. They're interested. What should they do?
Actually, Madam Kaltuma has said something really good. We are trying to create reading clubs. Right now, as we speak, we are almost more than 20 reading clubs. By the end of this year, we will have 50 plus. The whole idea is to pull communities together with this particular goal in mind, to have children reading. And it's working wonders because we've realized when parents come together, where they are stuck, one is stuck, the other is able to lift the other. And they are so excited about celebrating their children's progress within WhatsApp groups. Yeah, these reading clubs are WhatsApp groups. The other thing I would like to mention is that unless the family is involved in inculcating reading into a child, no matter what we do anywhere else, we'll always have a barrier. But when a father or a mother is there listening to a child read, even when they do their chores, even sometimes some of the parents told us, I'm not a good reader myself. But listening to the child read and using BookSmart app, which has got audio that facilitates the reading, they're able to be part of that reading engagement that encourages the child. So what I'd like to tell those who are watching or listening to this podcast is that get involved in your child's activities. Don't delegate reading or learning to teachers. They should be secondary. Actually, the first classroom a child will ever have is in the home. The first desk is on a parent's lap. So there's no other place where a child will feel most comfortable to learn other than their home. So I encourage parents, get involved. Please, next year, we are going to have Mashujaa Kusoma campaign challenge. It is open to anyone who is a parent or is a caregiver and any child between the age of 3 to 12. We are very interested in foundation learning. If you can get a child reading early, then you've set them up for success.
Yeah. Where can they find the app? How can they access
The app is
that?
free of charge, can be downloaded based on any, whether it's Play Store or Google, just download it.
Yeah.
Once you've downloaded it, register using your email address, create a profile for your child, You can use any phone, so long as the phone is maybe low-end feature phone or even low-end smartphone can
Yeah.
handle, because it's a very lightweight app.
Yeah.
Just download it. That's all you need to do.
There you have it. And ladies, now as we conclude, maybe the final word from each and every one of you to somebody who is listening to us today. What would you say to them today?
I believe that the greatest hero in this world is someone who can liberate your mind. So the people who actually say they're free are people who can read, transport themselves to different worlds, see themselves in another world. So please become a hero. Get children reading.
So I will say, if you're looking for a safe haven for your children, the library is like a safe space. And inside this safe space, there is a lot of other world to explore, either digitally or physically. Please bring your children to us during this holiday.
Yeah. And I think this couldn't have happened at any better time than this, as the kids are going to be with you guys for 2+ months. There you have ideas of what you can be doing with the kids over the holiday. But thank you so much for joining with us to the very end. My name is Muluru Mike. And this day today, we were celebrating Mashujaa wa Kusoma. And earlier we sat here with Racheal Nafula, an 11-year-old who's read more than 1,178 books. What are you doing for this holiday? What has caught your eye? Feel free to reach to us and tell us something on the comment section. What are your thoughts on the conversations we've had today? Is there anything you'd like clarification on, be it from the BookSmart app or even from the Kenya National Library Service? Feel free to reach out to us on the comment section and somebody will reach out to you. Thank you so much for joining with me to the very end. See you again on the next one.